If Formula One feels like oxygen to you, this is your new home. Here you get the stories that shake the season, the rumors that move through the garages, and the drama no one admits but everyone follows. So hit subscribe, turn on notifications, and join the community, because every corner of this calendar hides a twist and you won't hear it first on those sanitized channels out there. Here it's raw, direct, and straight from the paddock to you. The 2025 season already felt like a show written by someone who lost control of the plot. McLaren dominating, Ferrari stumbling, Mercedes clawing its way back, and Verstappen doing that Verstappen thing where he challenges logic even when the car shouldn't let him. And now, as if chaos wasn't enough, here comes the Las Vegas Grand Prix, the race that could redefine the entire championship. But there's a problem. Maybe the biggest one of the season. The heavy rain hitting the city isn't just bad weather. These are historic levels, flooding entire streets and directly threatening the most unstable street circuit of the year. Drivers arrived under constant rain. Forecasts say freezing temperatures, ice-like grip levels, and increasing chances of thunderstorms during Thursday and Friday sessions. It's the perfect recipe for something the FIA doesn't want to say out loud, but is already discussing behind closed doors. A real possibility of delay. Or worse, cancellation. And if that happens, the title fight gets blown wide open. Before we dive into the bombs circulating in the paddock, the real chance of the race being called off, we need to look at the board as it stands. Lando Norris leads the championship, but not comfortably. Piastri has collapsed in performance recently and is desperately trying to get back on form. Verstappen, meanwhile, looks like a man possessed again. When everyone doubts him, he starts ripping huge chunks out of the points gap. And that's why Las Vegas matters so much. If the race happens in wet or mixed conditions, McLaren is in trouble. Norris admitted the weekend could be nasty. Russell said McLaren will suffer. Tsunoda called it spicy, but not in a fun way, in a dangerous, unpredictable way. Now picture this, a race that could decide the title, with a vulnerable leader, a resurging rival, and a struggling teammate, and the FIA considering removing this card from the deck entirely. If Vegas drops, someone gets saved. And someone gets crushed. Look at the last few chapters to understand the size of this storm forming over Las Vegas. McLaren is living an internal role reversal so abrupt it almost feels scripted. Lando Norris, who looked mentally shattered after the disaster in Zandvoort, that moment where he seemed to watch the title slip from his hands, suddenly became the championship favorite in record time. The confidence came back so fast it felt unnatural. Oscar Piastri, on the other hand, went from the golden child of McLaren to a driver struggling to breathe. His consistency vanished. His pace became erratic. And his frustration grew after penalties like the Brazil incident, a call so harsh that even Carlos Sainz called it unacceptable. And then there's Verstappen. The man who usually dictates the pace of entire seasons is stuck watching a younger generation tear into each other while he tries to understand the shifting ground beneath his feet. He said it himself, strange. Very strange. For someone as unshakable as Max, admitting something feels off is rare. But he was clear about one thing, without luck, he won't catch Norris. That's exactly why Las Vegas is pivotal, the last big turning point where the math can swing violently. Las Vegas is an anomaly. Temperatures near freezing. Tires that refuse to warm up until it's almost too late. Long straights that demand absolute stability. And those 90-degree corners that punish anyone who hesitates for even a fraction of a second. This is the kind of track that could either hand Verstappen a miracle or completely destroy the fragile confidence Norris has built since his collapse. But then came the variable that rewrote every prediction: rain. Rain. In Las Vegas. Something that has literally never happened in an F1 weekend here. Forecasts say a 40% chance during FP2. Temperatures hovering around 10 degrees Celsius. A street surface with almost no natural grip. And teams are whispering that the drainage system rushed during construction may not handle heavy rain at all. People inside the paddock are already talking about session delays, schedule reorganizations, and even if things go badly enough, the nuclear option, cancellation. This isn't just a race weekend. It's a pressure cooker with the lid shaking. If you're still here, you already feel how insane this championship is getting. This isn't normal racing anymore, it's a storm of unpredictability where a single cloud over a desert city can rewrite the title fight. And if you want the raw version of what happens, the things that don't make it into the official press conferences, the real implications if Vegas is cancelled, who becomes champion overnight and who loses everything, subscribe right now. This channel is where you understand what nobody else dares to explain. So here's the core of it. Las Vegas is genuinely at risk of being cancelled, and the people responsible for the event are far more nervous than they pretend to be on camera. The rain this week didn't just wet the streets, it transformed them into shallow rivers. The National Weather Service issued a flood warning that isn't decorative. This is an active alert targeting the very region where the track sits. Even if the racetrack itself isn't fully underwater, everything around it, logistics areas, security access, emergency lanes, paddock roads, is compromised. Inside the paddock, the division is growing. Some teams think this is just an inconvenience. Something annoying, but manageable. Others believe the event is hanging by a thread, that all the glamour and hype could collapse like a house of cards if the drainage system can't handle sustained rain. Now to the answer you came for, and the one nobody wants to admit publicly. If Las Vegas gets cancelled, the biggest winner is Lando Norris. Not emotionally. Not strategically. Mathematically. It's undeniable. Vegas is the worst possible race for McLaren. Cold track, low grip, unpredictable tire warm-up, Norris's weaknesses get amplified here. If there's no race, he keeps his points lead without being thrown into the conditions that would punish him most. And the biggest loser? Max Verstappen. He needs this race like oxygen. Cold weather, tricky tires, and unstable grip are the perfect ingredients for a Verstappen extraction drive, the kind of weekend where he could take 15, 18, even 25 points out of Norris in one blow. A cancellation cuts that possibility at the root. And Oscar Piastri? He ends up in limbo. He loses a crucial chance to bounce back, but also avoids another meltdown weekend. A double-edged sword. A Schrödinger scenario, rescued and damaged at the same time. The strange thing is this: the championship may be decided by weather modeling instead of horsepower. Imagine a title potentially locked by a cancellation. Norris becoming champion because fate shut down a race that should have destroyed his pace. Verstappen watching his last legitimate chance evaporate before engines even start. Piastri stuck in the crossfire, unable to influence his own destiny. Inside the paddock, whispers are getting louder. Teams are preparing for Thursday sessions to be scrapped entirely if conditions worsen. Backup schedules are being drafted. Officials are debating whether the drainage system can handle even moderate rainfall. Hamilton once described the dry Las Vegas surface as a skating rink. Add water, and you're approaching something close to chaos. This weekend is shaping up to become part of F1's history, but maybe not for the reasons anyone hoped. If you're following this story as closely as the FIA is following the weather radar, hit subscribe. Don't behave like a driver trying to heat stone-cold tires at the last second. This championship is boiling over, and you won't miss a single twist if you stay here. This channel is your pit wall, updated, cynical, honest. No one truly knows what will happen in Las Vegas. Maybe the rain slows down just enough for the FIA to push through the weekend. Maybe they gamble and run the sessions at the limit of safety again. Maybe someone steps in and says the risk is too high, and the event collapses under its own logistical fragility. Or maybe the opposite happens. Maybe we get a race so chaotic, so slippery, so unpredictable that the championship gets reshaped in a handful of laps. What's clear is this: we're witnessing one of the most uncertain moments of modern Formula One. A moment where weather forecasts, infrastructure failures, and political pressure are as influential as tire strategy or DRS zones. And now it's your turn. Tell me in the comments. Do you think the race will happen? And if it doesn't, who deserves this title more? Norris, the new master of consistency? Piastri, brilliant early season, now shaken? Or Verstappen, the comeback force who refuses to let the story end? Whatever happens, the next hours could write a chapter the sport never forgets.